Welcome to today's Explainer. Look, if you operate a fleet or manage any kind of transportation business, you already know the intense daily pressure of fleet operations. I mean, think about how many hours a week a traditional dispatcher spends just shouting coordinates over a radio, hoping a driver actually hears them. Today, customer expectations are absolutely sky high, margins are tight, and let's face it, the technology landscape is moving fast. So we're taking an executive-level look at something that's completely reshaping the industry, modern taxi dispatch software. We're going to look closely at how these cloud-based platforms are completely eliminating critical daily bottlenecks, and more importantly, how they empower you to modernize, automate, and really scale your business.
So here is our roadmap for today. We'll cover the operational dispatch bottleneck, look at a unified digital ecosystem, and explore intelligent dispatch and tracking. After that, we'll dive into stakeholder solutions, enterprise security and scalability, and finally, wrap up with the implementation journey.
Section 1. The Operational Dispatch Bottleneck, Systemic Challenges in Legacy Transportation.
Okay, let's dive right into this. To understand the solution, we've got to fully grasp the root cause of the problem. Why exactly do legacy dispatch systems break down the second a transportation business tries to expand? Well, when you're managing, say, 10 cars, manual coordination might just barely work. You can kind of keep it all in your head. But when you scale up to 50, 500, or 1,000 vehicles across multiple cities, the friction in traditional phone-based dispatching doesn't just add up, it literally multiplies.
And this right here is exactly what that friction looks like. It's a chain reaction. Relying on phones inherently slows down response times, and it opens the door wide open for human error. Dispatchers can't actually see where their vehicles are, right? So you get incredibly inefficient driver allocation. Drivers end up sitting idle, completely missing nearby rides just because of poor visibility. And for the passenger, that translates directly into unpredictable arrival times. And we all know exactly where that leads: frustration and canceled rides. Add in the constant noisy radio chatter and the absolute administrative nightmare of manual billing and delayed payouts, and you've got a system that is actively leaking revenue.
Section 2. A unified digital ecosystem, moving beyond standalone ride-booking applications.
To fix those compounding problems, we have to fundamentally shift our thinking. We need to move way beyond the idea of a simple, standalone ride-booking app. The core definition is this: modern taxi dispatch software is a fully integrated, cloud-based operational platform. Think of it less like an app and more like a central nervous system for your entire fleet. It brings passengers, drivers, dispatchers, and administrators together into one unified ecosystem. It is literally designed to manage and automate the whole shebang, from the exact second a booking is requested, straight through to driver allocation, the trip itself, and finally payment processing.
Section 3. Intelligent dispatch and tracking, the engine room of modern fleet management. So now that we have the big picture, let's pop the hood and look at how the auto-dispatching logic actually thinks. Instead of a dispatcher frantically scanning a whiteboard or yelling over a radio, the system's algorithm analyzes a ton of real-time variables instantly. By cross-referencing driver availability with precise GPS locations, it automatically matches the passenger to the best vehicle. The result? Dramatically faster pickups. It also calculates ETAs using live traffic conditions for reliable arrivals, filters for specific vehicle types, and ensures local zone rules are followed. It even factors in driver ratings to keep your quality control in check. Honestly, this completely removes human error and just supercharges your fleet utilization.
But here's the thing. Intelligent dispatch needs intelligent data, and that comes straight from real-time GPS tracking. This completely solves that visibility bottleneck we talked about earlier. Dispatchers finally get a live map view of every single vehicle and active trip. And they aren't just looking at generic dots on a screen. They're monitoring actual speed, calculating idle time, and getting alerts if a driver deviates from a route. Everything is tracked precisely. Your dispatch team stops reacting to radio static and starts making proactive, informed decisions.
Section 4. Stakeholder solutions, solving real problems for passengers, drivers, and admins. Now, what's really interesting here is how all this underlying tech actually translates into daily benefits for the people using it. Let's start with the passengers. This directly cures those customer frustrations we laid out at the beginning. Unpredictable wait times? Gone, thanks to live tracking and upfront fare estimates. Payment friction? Completely eliminated with secure digital options like Apple Pay or credit cards. Plus, modern platforms build in vital safety features, like an in-app SOS button and number masking, so a rider's personal phone number stays totally private if they need to call their driver. Okay, moving over to the driver's side of things. Their dedicated app is all about one thing: maximizing daily productivity. No more fighting for attention over a crackly radio. Drivers get automated, live ride requests with all the trip details right there. They get built-in navigation to optimize routes. But honestly, one of the biggest game changers is the transparent daily earnings dashboard. Drivers can track their income instantly, which pretty much eliminates those end-of-week payout disputes. And, just like the passengers, drivers have that in-app SOS functionality for immediate support.
And finally, the solutions for the folks running the show, dispatchers and admins. The admin panel is your true command center. It gives you centralized control over your entire fleet and driver roster. Want to capitalize on peak hours? You can easily configure dynamic and surge pricing. It automates all those tedious driver payouts and invoices. And incredibly, it gives you multi-city operational control. That means from one single dashboard, you can manage different pricing, local rules, and even currencies across entirely different regions.
Section 5. Enterprise Security and Scalability. Building for long-term business growth.
For any enterprise decision makers joining us today, this is where we really need to talk about long-term strategy and risk. Let's compare rigid legacy setups against scalable modern platforms. Legacy operations are boxed in by manual processes, limited to single regions, and suffer from disconnected data. But a modern platform? It's built for scale. It offers white label branding, meaning you launch the apps under your own corporate identity, not someone else's. You get flexible API integrations, connecting easily with tools you probably already use, like Stripe or Google Maps. And because it's cloud-based, it can effortlessly scale to support 20 cars or 20,000 cars without needing a massive internal IT department.
But of course, with that kind of scale comes major responsibility. Robust security is an absolute non-negotiable. You are dealing with financial transactions and private data, so the software has to have enterprise-grade security at every single layer. We're talking end-to-end data encryption for all app and server chatter, role-based access control, so only authorized people see sensitive data. You absolutely need strict PCI DSS compliance for secure payments, alongside GDPR-compliant practices for data privacy. Wrap all that up with continuous monitoring and threat detection, and you've got a rock-solid foundation.
Section 6. The Implementation Journey, the Roadmap to Go Live.
Now, transitioning a live business to a completely new platform, I know, it sounds daunting, but it's actually a very structured, guided process. Here is the roadmap to go live. First, an operational assessment to pinpoint your current inefficiencies. Second, configuring the platform, setting your pricing, your workflows, and deploying it in the cloud. Step 3 is the actual integration, importing your fleet data and mapping your service zones. Step 4 is absolutely crucial, hands-on training for your dispatchers and drivers so everyone is ready for day one. And finally, the go-live itself, backed by ongoing maintenance and support to make sure your operations never miss a beat.
I want to leave you with this final, summarizing thought. Taxi dispatch software is far, far more than just a ride-booking app. It is a complete operational platform that automates dispatching, drastically improves fleet visibility, and fundamentally supports long-term business growth. By ditching the manual bottlenecks and connecting everyone into a single digital ecosystem, transportation businesses can finally stop just reacting to the chaos and start proactively scaling. The technology to completely overhaul your operations is sitting right here today. The only question is, how will you use it to transform your fleet? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring the possibilities out there.